Welcome, guys, back to ILWPOD. I'm Pops,
Nasty Nate.
and we're here to review No Way Out 2000. It took place in Hartford, Connecticut. There was 12,551 fans in attendance, and they start out the show with a great promo package about Cactus Jack, Mick Foley versus Triple H in a Hell in a Cell.
Yes.
It's going to be Mick Foley's last chance at a WrestleMania main event. He puts his career on the line going up against Triple H for the title. Then we get Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler on the mic, and I think this was some of their best work around this time period between like 97 and here. So it's always great to have them on the mic. The first match we get is an IC title match, and you get the European champion, Kurt Angle, going after the IC title, defended by Chris Jericho. And Chris Jericho will be accompanied to the ring by China.
I think that the fans were really on Y2J's side at this point. They were cheering for him. He was amazing, all right. And then, obviously, the heel in this match was Kurt Angle. He was just I think he was really over, like, with the fans, and they were, like, booing him constantly, throwing out insults and everything like that.
Y2J was absolutely awesome on the mic before the match. He come out and he gave the bad mamma jamma comment. I just thought that was absolutely amazing. And then you start the match off. Angle takes a crazy backdrop to the floor. I mean, it was absolutely crazy. Then Y2J hits this lion salt off the steps. I thought was awesome.
Yes, that lion salt was crazy. I liked how he kind of like closed or like Irish whipped him into the stairs, but he like jumped on the stairs, hit a lion salt. It was crazy. After a little bit more action on the outside, they get back into the ring and they go to the top rope. And Kurt Angle hits a belly-to-belly superplex off the top, and it was crazy. I think that Angle was like amazing in the ring.
It wasn't just the one off the top. He also hit one, just a regular suplex. Angle suplexes I got wrote down here. Some of the best I've ever seen.
Yes.
It's true. It's damn true.
All right. After more action, all right, Jericho does kind of like Brock Lesnar's power bombs, how he would do the triple power bombs, and he would lift him and then he would just power bomb him like crazy. There's pure strength of Y2J, especially over Olympic gold medalist in wrestling like Kurt Angle, was insane.
There was one part, Angle uses an arm bar on Chris Jericho, almost breaks his arm. I thought this was ironic because referring back to the WCW days, arm bar! You know, the list Jericho had out there. I just thought it was crazy that he almost got his arm ripped off by Kurt Angle. I thought that was kind of interesting.
All right. And then near kind of the end moments of the match, all right, there's a little bit of finascal or whatever on the outside with China and stuff, and it allows the referee to get distracted. And meanwhile, in the ring, Kurt Angle has the European Championship kind of hidden. Y2J goes for a lion salt, but then is hit in the face when he's about to land with the European Championship, which allows Kurt Angle to pin him 1, 2, 3 to become your new IC champion.
This was awesome. China got crushed into the ring steps, as you said, caused the ref to go check on her.
Yes.
And it was definitely the sleeper match of the whole pay-per-view, I think. I think this was one of the better matches on the pay-per-view.
Yes.
Next, we get a backstage Michael Cole with the Dudleys. The Dudleys talking about their tag team title match against the Outlaws, the New Age Outlaws. Bubba says, Outlaws, we got 2 words for you. 3D. It was kind of funny. I really enjoyed that. And then next up, we get the tag team title match. The New Age Outlaws versus the Dudleys. It's a great tag team action. The Dudleys isolate the Road Dogg. They get a hot tag for Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn's on fire, hits a Famouser on Devon. What did you think?
I thought that it was a great match. I love Billy Gunn's athleticism, especially because right before the match, they showed a little video from a week earlier on SmackDown where he hit this crazy Famouser through the table. He jumped like a couple feet in the air, and it was crazy. All right, and I just love the New Age Outlaws as a tag team. how they would come out to the ring and they'd be like, well, we got 2 words for you.
Yeah.
Suck it.
And the crowd was really behind them. At this point, though, they hit Devon with the famouser. We end up with new champs. The Dudleys end up hitting a 3D.
Yes.
And winning the titles. But the Outlaws have some words after the match. And we start to see dissension in the ranks of the New Age Outlaws. Maybe they're getting ready to go on their singles title run. It was really interesting. I really enjoyed it. Thought it was a great tag team match.
Yes, it was. All right, following that tag team match, all right, there's a little a video shown from Heat earlier that night where Viscera dropped all 500 pounds onto Mae Young, crushing her, which did lead to this match at No Way Out, Viscera versus Mark Henry, all right, and it's just 2 big guys in a match, just tussling, all right, throwing each other. They go out to the outside. Viscera throws Mark Henry into the stairs really like hard, and it looked like Mark Henry was hurt for a little bit. And then he kind of just does it over again and again until they get back in the ring, and Mae Young comes in the ring to kind of try to stop Viscera from hurting Mark Henry, and he just shoves her down, and he looks like he's about to hurt her too, until Mark Henry does get back up, hits Viscera with a running power slam, and wins the match 1-2-3.
This was during the Mark Henry sexual chocolate Mae Young pregnancy angle with the hand. It was part of that. This stuff wouldn't fly today at all in WWE. There's no way in this environment in the world it would fly. Yeah. I thought some of it was funny, but it is also pointless wrestling that even when it was taking place, I didn't really pay much attention to it because of the cheesiness of the angles. But Mark Henry wins. Watching it back today, I think it was really interesting. And he gets Mae Young as his prize, and he carries Mae Young off. Next, we get a backstage interview with Lillian Garcia interviewing Chris Jericho about his loss to Angle. And Jericho, again, fire on the mic. He calls Kurt Angle the Olympic real jackass. I just think there's nobody better on the mic than Y2J. So we start out next. We get the Hardy Boys with Terry versus Edge and Christian. This is the #1 contenders match for the tag team titles. Right off the bat, Jerry the King Lawler comes out with Terry was coming back from injury. And King's words, Terry, we're glad to see you back and front. The puppies are peeking at me. I just think, oh my God, King was on fire back here. He's always got some innuendo. And Terry is hired the APA there at ringside to help Matt and Jeff. There was great back and forth tag team action with this. A young Matt and Jeff Hardy was absolutely amazing, way ahead of their time. And to see them go against Edge and Christian, there's nothing better.
Yes.
Jeff hits an awesome pile driver at the beginning of the match. There's a double pin spot that is a extremely good spot. I really liked it. Then Jeff hits a spear mid-poetry gets hit with a spear by Edge mid-poetry in motion. That was absolutely amazing.
It was.
Matt Hardy hits a twist of fate, but Terry turns on the Hardy Boys, pushing Jeff off the top rope, then smacks Matt. Christian hits Matt with the kill switch or the unprettier. And then the APA come in the ring and kill Jeff Hardy. Absolutely destroyed him. Next, we get Michael Cole backstage with Edge and Christian, the #1 contenders for the tag team titles. Backstage interview. And coming to our next match, we get Big Boss Man with Albert versus Taz. This match starts on the floor. Taz, we get to see a T-bone suplex the Boss Man. Then he locks in the Taz mission, but Albert does not have none of that and attacks Taz immediately. The Boss Man and Taz mug. Or the Boss Man and Albert mug Taz. They keep beating him up. He wouldn't stay down. They keep telling him to stop getting up, so they take the nightstick, they break it over his head. Taz still won't stay down, gets up, puts Boss Man in a Taz mission until Albert low blows him, and they finish the dismantling of the human suplex machine.
Yes. I thought that was crazy. It was a crazy little match. It wasn't much to it, really. Taz suplexed Boss Man around a little bit, and then all that. But I liked how Taz just wouldn't stay down. How they kept kicking him and punching him, and he wouldn't stay down. And then breaking the nightstick. I didn't think they were going to break the whole nightstick over his head. But yeah, I like Taz. I missed that I didn't get to watch much Taz growing up because, for one, I wasn't born yet. And for two, he retired after a while. But yeah, I like Taz. Okay, after the Taz vs. Boss Man match, alright, it is a promo package showing the history between Kane and X-Pac. Tori actually leaves Kane for X-Pac.
It was great. We seen the last review we did, the Royal Rumble 1999. Tori entered from the crowd, interfering in the women's title match. And to see how far she's come in a year and to be a major part of this big storyline between Kane and X-Pac, I thought it was pretty awesome.
Yes, alright. And now we are here at this no-holds-barred match. It is X-Pac with Tori, and then Kane with a new Paul Bearer. He came back for Kane, and then they fight up towards the stage a little bit. X-Pac tries to climb up the stage, but is taken down by Kane, and he hits him with a trash can over and over again. They fight through the crowd, and they finally get back into the ring, where X-Pac hits a Bronco Buster on Kane.
Up by the stage, it was really cool. It was set up like the Hell in the Cell, so it was them using the cage and X-Pac being lawn darted into it. It was really interesting. And then we get my favorite part of the match. It was Jerry the King talking about Kane and why Tori left him. Kane spent his prom night organizing his sock drawer. Jerry the King Lawler is absolutely on fire. There's nothing better than him.
Yes, alright. And then near the closing moments of the match, Tori tries to interfere to help X-Pac, where Kane hits Tori with a tombstone pile driver, and then he picks up the steps, going to use them onto Tori also. X-Pac drop kicks Kane's leg, and the stairs fall on his head, which allows X-Pac to pick up the win 1, 2, 3.
And that was a great pin spot. I really liked it. We don't see a lot of that innovative stuff in wrestling no more. Next, we get Michael Cole, and he's backstage with the Radicals, talking about Dean, Benoit, and Saturn's debut match together as a team, as the Radicals, versus Too Cool and Rikishi. Eddie Guerrero's debut match happened earlier on Monday Night Raw, earlier in the week, and he was injured by Rikishi. Eddie actually dislocated his elbow, so the Radicals are not doing so hot coming into this.
All right. And we're here at No Way Out. It is a 6-man tag match. It is Too Cool with Rikishi versus the Radicals, Perry Saturn, Dean Malenko, and Chris Benoit. They actually all fight before the match can even start. Both teams enter the ring, and they fight before the match starts. The ref doesn't know what to do. He's running all around, looking like, what do I do? And then Eddie Guerrero gets in the ring with this steel pipe. And he goes to hit Rikishi, but is stopped, and then is hit himself in the shoulder or elbow that was injured with the pipe to take him out of the match. And finally, the match does start. At the beginning moments, Chris Benoit is hit with a stink face by Rikishi. I thought the stink face was always crazy. All that cheekage in your face is scary. It stinks for sure. And the Radicals start to focus on Rikishi's ankle that was also hurt. They target it. They kind of solo down Rikishi. They all get him in their corner and just beat down on the ankle over and over until later Scotty 2 Hotty hits the famous worm on Perry Saturn. And then after that, Rikishi hits the Rikishi driver bonsai drop combo to win the match.
I was disappointed in this. This was the Radicals' debut match. And I can remember going back when I watched it when it happened. I can remember showing up on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, whichever one it was. I can't remember. But it was so exciting. And then to see them do the thing when Mick Foley, turn on Mick Foley, everything before they got the debut. You were so excited and pumped up for what WWF or WWE was going to do for them, and then it felt like they buried them.
Especially with the talent that was in that group, with the Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit and Perry Saturn and Dean Malenko. Of course, 2 of the members became world champions, but it was still crazy how they fumbled them as a group, because that could have been a dominant faction. They could have held all the gold in the WWF at the time, and they fumbled the bag. They dropped it.
I think they did too. Now, you did get Benoit and Guerrero, who adapted and overcome.
Yes.
But they both had a long road to hoe to get there. Yes. So next we get a video package, and it's hyping up The Rock versus Big Show to determine who really won the Royal Rumble, to see who's going to main event Mania. This was the year when The Rock and the Big Show went over the ropes together. The Rock's feet actually touched first. Big Show proved it to Triple H and Stephanie, who was the authority at the time, to get this match here at No Way Out. The Rock is float over DDT. Is absolutely one of the best in the game. I thought it was great.
I think it's crazy how he was able to hit it on Big Show so flawlessly. How he floated over the back of the Big Show, and it was just insane, especially the size difference.
I thought Jerry the King Lawler, again, was on point. The bigger they are, the harder they hit. He just never stopped with the one line, like the punchlines.
Yes. And then, yeah, they just, it was a lot of Big Show using his size advantage against The Rock, until the ref is knocked out of the ring, and then The Rock is able to, or the Big Show hits his choke slam onto The Rock, and it looks like he's about to win, but there's no ref in the ring to count. Another ref comes down, but it's Tim White that is about to come into pin, but Earl Hebner, that was knocked out, starts to argue with him.
And then Tim White kicks the shit out of Earl Hebner. I couldn't believe this. This was crazy. And then out of nowhere, Shane McMahon comes running out. Yes. And McMahon slides in the ring with the chair and wipes The Rock out. Turns on The Rock.
Yes.
Costing The Rock his WrestleMania title match, supposedly. The chair shot to the head was vicious.
Yeah. As back in the day, they always were. I don't think they probably should have ever been doing unprotected headshots with chairs, especially steel chairs. It was insane.
I don't know. Growing up in that era.
I mean, yeah, probably growing up, it looks cool.
As long as it wasn't the ECW level of chair shots to the head. I'm pretty sure most of the time WCW and WWE tried to keep it moderate. Sometimes you would get like the chair shots from the Royal Rumble match that happened between Rock and Mankind, but not normally. After ECW came around, though, they got a lot more violent all around the wrestling industry.
Kind of like how The Rock did on Ken Shamrock that one time, which was vicious. So I think The Rock has something to do with chairs, all right? He must be in love with them. He either likes getting hit with them or hitting people with them, I just like to say.
Next, we get Hell in a Cell. Title match versus career. Triple H is accompanied by Stephanie McMahon. There's the cage is lowered down, and Cactus has promised that he will jump off the cage through Triple H's bruised and battered body. But once the cell is lowered, Cactus tries to roll out of the ring, and he instantly notices there's a ton of locks and chains around the door, so there will be no getting out of the cell. Triple H takes a mean backdrop from in the ring to the floor. Cactus takes a crazy bump off the apron and an ST plunge into the cell. Then Triple H slings Cactus into the ring steps, picks the ring stairs up, and then throws him and hits Cactus in the head. Cactus won't stay down, though, for nothing. Even after more chair shots to the head, Cactus just won't stay down. Cactus gets up. He ends up hitting a double underhook DDT on the chair on Triple H. Triple H ends up sending him to the outside, using the cage to his advantage before Cactus reverses and catapults Triple H into the cell. This busted Triple H open, wide open. He's bleeding like a stuck pig. And Cactus uses the cage to shred Triple H's face all the way up and down it. It's very gruesome. Then we get Cactus Jack with the chair, with an elbow drop from the second turnbuckle to the floor onto Triple H. That was a oh my God moment. JR, Jim Ross, oh my God, Jack, you're counting.
One thing I do have to say is after he hits it, I don't know if you caught it when we were watching, but as you can see, Triple H kind of like flops a little bit. He's like shaking, like pulse.
Great sell job.
Yes, it was crazy.
Jack then throws the steps through the wall of the cage and then runs and uses himself as a cannonball to knock the rest of the cage out. It cuts him wide open. Then he comes back in, throws Triple H out, cuts Triple H wide open. Then we get both of them on top of the announce table, fighting back and forth.
Yes.
And Cactus Jack hits one of the most hellacious pile drivers on Triple H I have ever seen. The table didn't break. It was crazy. And then out of nowhere, Cactus goes over to the timekeeper's area. And from behind where they keep the bell, he pulls out Barbie or the 2x4 wrapped in barbed wire. He goes and starts hitting Triple H with it, raking his head with it. Triple H starts ascending the structure, the Hell in a Cell structure, trying to avoid Cactus. Cactus chases him up. He's got a rope around the end of the 2x4 so he can put it around his wrist. So he's taking the 2x4 up with him. But when he gets to the top, Triple H cuts him off and sends Cactus off the side of the structure through the announce table at the bottom. This was another one where Jerry the King Lawler and Jim Ross tried to revert back to the classic Hell in a Cell call where, oh my God, he's dead. His head bounced off the chair. They really hyped it up. But Cactus won't stay down. So he gets back up and he climbs up the structure to meet Hunter. They get up there and they're fighting back and forth over this barbed wire board on top of the Hell in a Cell. And Vince McMahon, best Vince McMahon there. Cactus hits a suplex on Triple H on top of the cage and it starts breaking. Everybody's worried about him falling through. Then a double underhook DDT. Cactus hits that. And he gets up and he grabs the 2x4 wrapped in barbed wire. And he's doing something you can't see him because he's kind of behind the camera. And the next thing you know, the board is lit on fire. And he hits Triple H in the face with it. And then he tries for a pile driver on top of it. But Triple H back body drops him onto the other part of the cell. He goes through the cell and then through the damn ring. It is crazy. Triple H climbs down, but he's kind of hesitant to pin him or to go near him because he's laying through the ring. But then we see Mick Foley get back up, try to fight his way back up. Triple H hits him with the pedigree, and Cactus Jack's career is supposedly over. We'll have to wait and see. It was for his career on the line, and his dreams of main eventing WrestleMania are crushed. Now, I have to say, this was a great show, and I would want to say it's probably one of the top 5 Hell in a Cell matches of all times. I would definitely put it in my top 5.
Yes, it was brutal and it was crazy. The spots that they did in the match with like the power driver on the announce table was insane. It was just how his head bounced off, and then seeing Cactus Jack go through the announce table was also insane. And it was just a lot of brutal, crazy spots. Definitely top 5.
I think going through the cell, using his body to go through the cell, was one of the hardest probably bumps in the match, and he caused it to himself. I thought that was pretty cool. And then seeing him go through the cell again for a second time. Scary, but I think Mick Foley probably should have ended his career in this match.
He was unpredictable, I think. And it was just insane. And I wouldn't say all that because
This was supposed to be one of his retirement matches, though.
Yeah.
And I think if he would have stayed retired here, he would have a better legacy.
I mean, yeah, but then also think about it. Later down the line, we wouldn't get the flaming table spot at WrestleMania with him and Edge. So, I mean, yes, he could have retired here, and then it still would have been legendary, but then he still came back and made more legendary moments.
I just don't think that table spot was worth tarnishing your whole legacy. As always, this is our review of the 2000 No Way Out. We want to thank you for joining us. As always, all praise to God. Thank you for your support.
Peace.